Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about some movements I did on my Robinhood account with one of the stocks I invested a lot during 2020. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing and smashing that like button since it really helps the channel out. Also, I have a completely free Discord group chat, which the link for that is down in the description below. Some of the OGs in the channel may remember that I started investing in cruise line stocks before the pandemic. Heck, my first video ever in this channel was about Carnival Cruise Line, as at the moment I liked their valuation a lot, and that was around December 2019. Months later, during February, I started doing research on Royal Caribbean and noticed that I liked even more their valuation as it was dropping, but the pandemic had not affected yet the industry nor worldwide economy, so I was actually seeing this as an opportunity. A month later, literally a month later, lockdown started, worldwide affected cruises, hotels, airlines, restaurants, literally everything. It was then when I decided to average down on my positions. The thing is that I have already invested a lot of money and felt comfortable with my position that didn't want to double my positions in Carnival and Royal Caribbean. Also, because one of the things I always tell you guys is that I invest long term unless something were to happen that would change the fundamentals of the company. And obviously, the pandemic would affect my stocks really hard. Royal Caribbean had already dropped over 40% until February when I started investing in it, and Carnival over 34%. And obviously, I was seeing this as a steal, but was not counting it to drop way more, as I did not know about the lockdowns. Carnival ended up dropping all the way down to $8 per share, which was an 83% drop, and Royal Caribbean 83%. The thing is that Carnival had been dropping since 2018, while Royal Caribbean was actually performing pretty nice. I bought Carnival for the first time at $44 per share and averaged it down all the way down to $11. Royal Caribbean I started buying at $99 per share and averaged it down until it got to $24 per share, because I was able to invest more in Royal Caribbean at lower prices than Carnival. As I started investing after, I was able to recover faster from Royal Caribbean until I decided to sell. Yes, I sold one of my long-term positions that I was planning on holding for 3, 5 to 10 years, and I'm going to talk about that and why I did that on the video. But first, let's see how they have done, what they have planned, and what to expect from these companies. First, we know that the CDC and cruise line companies agreed to postpone to start sailing several times last year, and finally Royal Caribbean and the CEO announced last week that they have been working very hard to come back, and they are finally going to set sail from the US for the first time on July 2nd, which is next week. Hot on the heels of the cruise line's return to the Caribbean, 11 Royal Caribbean ships are set to cruise from the US and Europe once again, beginning in July and August. And they are requesting their crew members and guests to be tested and fully vaccinated against COVID-19, which has been an issue on the news, as the Florida Governor DeSantis has a policy to ban cruise lines from requiring passengers to show proof of COVID vaccination. I have to say that in this, I understand both the governor and Royal Caribbean. I understand Royal Caribbean because I know that many places in the Caribbean said that it is mandatory for tourists to be vaccinated. Plus, if people were to get infected in the cruise, they run the risk of the CDC canceling cruises once again. For example, Royal Caribbean already had to postpone their Odyssey of the Seas as crew members tested positive. But also understand DeSantis, as there are many people that do not want to get vaccinated, and I respect that. I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine back in March because I suffered from asthma and did not want to take the risk in case I get the COVID. But I know many people that don't want to get vaccinated, and that's fine. Still, apparently, polls show that vast majority of Floridians disagree on DeSantis' policy. This is something we are going to wait and see what happens, as it can affect the company's decision to start sailing once again. Now, in their latest earnings report, they mentioned that their monthly cash burn rate for the first quarter of 2021 was approximately $300 million, which is high mainly by fleet-wide restart expenses and timing. Still, since March 2020, they have been able to raise $12.3 billion through the combination of bond issuances, common stock offerings, and other loan facilities. But as of March 31st, 2021, they had liquidity of approximately $5.8 billion, which includes $5.1 billion in cash and cash equivalents. Also, as of March 31st, 2021, the scheduled debt maturities for the remainder 2021 and 2022 are $0.2 billion and $2.2 billion respectively, which is okay as they have enough cash, but might have to raise more money as they continue burning cash. Obviously, it is incredible that booking activity for the second half of 2021 is aligned with the company's anticipated resumption cruising, and also that cumulative advance booking for the first half of 2022 are within historical ranges. Still, we're obviously not able to provide an outlook for 2021 because of so much uncertainty. Now, Carnival also mentioned that they are resuming operations using gradual phased approach, with sailing announced on 42 ships to date through the end of fiscal year of 2021, representing 52% of company's total capacity. Their Carnival Cruise Line brand will start sailing on July 31st. Their Princess Cruise Line resume in July to Alaska and Los Angeles, San Francisco, and all the other ports in September. Then Holland American Line during the fall and Seabourn in November, while their European cruises are expected to start between September and November. On their latest earnings report, Carnival Cruise Line reported a cash burn rate in the first half of 2021 better than forecasted, primarily due to the timing of proceeds from ship sales and working capital. They ended the quarter with $9.3 billion of cash and short-term investments, which they think it is enough to get back to full operations. Just like Royal Caribbean, they continue seeing an acceleration in booking trends globally. Booking volume for the second quarter of 2021 were 45% higher than booking volumes during the first quarter of 2021. Now, let's compare both companies. Royal Caribbean is trading at $86.97 per share with a market cap of $22.14 billion, while Carnival is trading at $27.46 per share with a market cap of $32.6 billion. We can see that Royal Caribbean stock has performed way better in the past 2 years and also since March. Since the crash in March, the stock is up 169%, while Carnival 60%. Don't get me wrong, 60 is a huge return, but comparing it with 169, that is crazy. And when I started analyzing Royal Caribbean back in February 2020, I noticed that I like their valuation and strength as a company, as I thought it was way better than Carnival's. Now, something that has been happening is that we are seeing a strong booking demand in luxury, which between Royal Caribbean and Carnival, Royal Caribbean has more luxurious brands than Carnival, and that might help them see a better growth in the short term. Now, why did I sell my Royal Caribbean stocks and still hold Carnival? So, as you can see, Royal Caribbean stock has been recovering way faster than Carnival stock, and I think both stocks are getting ahead of themselves, to be honest. I know we might be back to sailing this year, but that does not mean the company is going back to normal and huge growth like before the pandemic. That takes time, in my opinion. For example, Royal Caribbean is expecting to see an increase in spendings on returning crew members to ships, bringing back ships to operations status and all that. So even though when I started investing in this company, this current price today was a complete steal at the moment for Royal Caribbean, things changed. Cruises suffered a lot, and even then, Royal Caribbean stock recovered faster than expected, as the company has not recovered since they have not been able to start operations. I had profits since I sold at $71.60 per share, but I was able to average down at 24 as I started investing in the high 90s, but I invested way more at 24 than 90, not like Carnival, and decided to sell to invest that money into other stock, which I think will have a better return in my opinion. But I have not sold Carnival as I think the stock still has a bit more of upturn potential. Did I make a mistake by selling thinking Royal Caribbean as a stock is already 20% up since I sold. Who knows? I might, but I know they were one of the most affected during the pandemic, wanted to invest my money in other stocks, and saw the stock recovering way better and faster than the company, meaning that if something were to happen and they could not start sailing, the stock could easily crash again. Also, I do have to say that I love cruise stocks. I love cruises and going on a cruise, and that is why one of the reasons I started investing in them, as I would go on a cruise yearly, and I know that cruises are not going to disappear, but I do think that they might be back to normal with 100% operations by next year. I don't think they will be able to do so this year. If they are able to start operations and have 100% of their operations back to normal, then excellent. But I know that it takes time. With this, I'm not saying that I will never invest in cruises again. I want to invest back in cruises, but I want to see them starting operations, doing the first successful trip, and start recovering, paying debts, and not needing to dilute their shares again. Are you investing in cruise lines right now? Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash that like button and subscribe, since it really helps the channel out. Thank you, and see you next time.